Yo, Bear, drop that beat. CKJ. XRP, baby. CKJ. Get him, Bear. CKJ Crypto News. I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. Report to Donald Trump Executive Order 13772. The landscape for financial services has changed, and it sure has, that's for sure. And Ripple XRP is leading this revolution. Opportunities have been identified. Huge opportunities. Opportunities of a lifetime. Investment opportunities of a lifetime. I'm not a financial advisor, but this has pretty much been a recurring theme here. I pretty much tied Ryan Zagoon to the White House. Basically, this executive report pretty much highlights the new financial foundation that's being laid down. And within this report, they're identifying major groups that are working on the legal structure, the regulatory framework for this amazing innovation, this technology. It's been a recurring theme that this innovation is ahead of regulation, that's for sure. The groups that are mentioned in here, like for example, the Faster Payments Task Force, Ryan Zagoon is on that group. They also mentioned the it's the CBSC. It's the state banking regular services, something like that. We'll get to that. Pretty much there's a few groups in here that's mentioned in this report that Ryan Zagoon is actually in also. So it's the Department of Treasury, July 2018, a financial system that creates economic opportunities. And I do believe that huge financial opportunities. We possibly could be in the right place at the right time. Nonbank Financial Fintech Innovation reports of President Donald Trump Executive Order 13772, core principles for regulating the United States financial system. Now, what I'm saying is Ryan Zagoon is pretty much in about 2-3 of these groups, and actually Ripple's identified in this report. Also, I believe that with real-time payments being utilized, I believe that they're currently using the Ripple Ledger. We will see. So let's get this show started, that's for sure. First things first is you can follow me on Twitter, CKJ at CKJ Crypto News. Shout out to the XRP Army, the Ripple Pioneers. You guys have been amazing support. Don't forget I do daily crypto videos. We're gonna late night live stream tonight. I'm sorry guys, you know I'm in a rush. It is I hope everybody's enjoying the Memorial Day. I'm actually at work today, and I came home to make this video on my lunch break, so kind of trying to rush a little bit, so I apologize. I pretty much spent the whole weekend reading this report right here, so, and I was going to make the video yesterday, but it just got so late. It's like 100 and almost 200 pages. But let's get this show started. So bear with me, guys, if I jump around or seem kind of rushy. So basically, let me see. Executive summary. Introduction. President Donald Trump established a policy of his administration to regulate the U.S. financial system in a manner consistent with core principles. These principles are set forth in Executive Order 13772 on February 3rd, 2017. The U.S. Department of Treasury, under the direction of Secretary Stephen Mnuchin, and under the direction of Secretary Stephen Mnuchin, prepared this report in response to the executive order. So, empower Americans, making independent financial decisions, informed choices, and marketplace save for retirement, and build individual wealth. Build individual wealth with this huge opportunity in front of us with XRP, of course. But if you actually look right here, Secretary Stephen Mnuchin. So I pulled this up right here. This is Secretary Stephen Munich wants to make sure bad people cannot use Bitcoin to do bad things. Stephen Munich said his concern is for making sure bad people cannot use this currency to do bad things. The U.S. is working with other countries to prevent cryptocurrencies from being used like Swiss number bank accounts. I want to be sure consumers trading in this understand the risk. He said on Friday about the cryptocurrency market, I'm concerned consumers could get hurt. Alright, let me just slow down a little bit. Take my time. Treasury Secretary Stephen Munich wants to make sure cryptocurrencies can't be used like Swiss bank accounts. We want to make sure that bad people cannot use these currencies to do bad things, he said Friday at an event hosted by Economic Club in Washington. He added the U.S. is working with the world leaders in the G20 on making sure that this doesn't become a Swiss numbered bank account. And that actually brings me to this right here. Ryan Zagoon, tweet from Ryan Zagoon. If you're not familiar with Ryan Zagoon, he works at Ripple. He's a regulator working on regulatory certainty for XRP, that's for sure. And he tweeted, leading up to the G20, I've been on a 5-week tour of regulators sharing this view. There are many use cases for digital assets, some retail, virtual currencies, some enterprise, FX liquidity tool. Take each on a case-by-case basis as the risk of each are unique. So that brings us back to this. So just bear with me, guys. I got a lot to cover here. Non-bank financials and fintech. Right here. Yeah, this is where we start. Non-bank financials, fintech, and innovation. Non-bank financial firms play important roles in providing financial services to the U.S. consumers and businesses by providing credit to the economy across the wide range of retail and commercial asset classes. Non-banks are well integrated into the U.S. payment system and play key roles such as facilitating back-end processing, enabling card issuances, processing and network activities, and providing customers-facing digital payment software. Now, I think this is all about Ripple, to be honest, my perspective. Non-bank financial firms, because it's a non-bank financial firm, private entity, firms also play important roles in capital markets and in providing financial advice and execution services to retail investors, among a wide range of other services. The financial crisis altered the environment in which banks and non-banks compete to provide financial services, which is true. They say the financial crisis in 2008 was the birth of digital assets. Bitcoin started it off. XRP is going to lead the way. Specifically, many traditional financial companies such as banks and credit unions and insurance companies experienced significant distress during the crisis. This distress caused an insolvency reconstructing of many existing financial companies, particularly those with volatile funding sources and concerned balance sheets. So that pretty much sets it up that right there. The financial crisis was the birth of digital assets, the birth of Ripple. So if we move on down to right here, emerging trends in financial amelioration. Financial services are being significantly reshaped by several important trends, including rapid advances in technology, increased efficiencies from the rapid digitization of the economy, and the abundance of capital available to propel innovation. Ripple. Technology advances in the financial services. Ripple. In addition to other benefits, innovations in financial technology expand access to services to underserved individuals or small businesses and improve the use case and speed and cost for such services. Businesses providing financial services to benefit from opportunities, lifetime opportunity here to improve their product offering to win a market share of the reduced per customer operational cost. So opportunities have been identified. Don't worry, I'm getting to it right here. Aligning with regulatory framework to promote innovation. Many statutes and regulations addressing the financial sector date back decades. Many statutes and regulations addressing the financial sector date back decades. 40-year-old technology replacing. As a result, the financial regulatory framework is not always optimally suited to address new business models, Ripple, and products that continue to evolve in financial services. This has the potential to negative consequences of limited innovation that might benefit consumers, us, and small businesses. Financial regulation should be modernized, of course, to more appropriately address the evolving characteristics of financial services of today and the future. Ripple. It is important that state regulators strive to achieve greater harmonization, including considering drafting a model of laws that could be informally adopted for financial services companies currently challenged by varying licensing requirements in each state. The Treasury encourages efforts to streamline and coordinate examinations and to encourage, where possible, regulators to conduct a joint examination of individual firms. Pickle, go lay down. Pickle, go lay down. Treasury supports a vision. Pickle. I apologize, guys. Treasury supports a vision for 2020, mass adoption 2020. That's what I've been saying. An effort by the Conference of State Bank Supervisors. But check this out, guys. Treasury supports a vision for 2020. An effort by a Conference of State Bank Supervisors that includes establishing a fintech industry advisory panel to help improve state regulation. Now that brings me to this right here. What's this right here? Ryan Zagone. It is an honor to be selected for the U.S. State Regulators' new advisory board, the CSBC, which is right there in the Treasury report to Donald Trump, who basically says they're working on this regulatory board, modernizing state level regulation. And guess what? Guess who's on that board? Ryan Zagone. Ryan Zagone again. And a vision for 2020 initiative, Amazon, PayPal, and 31 others to help modernize multi-state licensing and supervision. So this is what I said pretty much throughout this whole report. You're going to be identifying groups that are basically helping bring this amazing technology to the financial world. And basically Ryan Zagone is he's in every one of these groups that we're going to be mentioning here. So this is huge. This is huge. Lifetime opportunity, that's for sure. At the federal level, Treasury encourages the Office of Controller of Currency and further to develop a special purpose of national bank character. So it's Office of Controller Currency. What's that bring us to right here? Here goes a letter from Ripple, Ryan Zagone, to the Office of Controller of Currency. Ripple is a technology company that provides financial institutions with real-time cross-border payments and solutions. Ripple specializes in distributed financial technology. It's going to be pretty much a recurring theme throughout reading this report. Is every one of these entities that are mentioned, Ryan Zagone is working with them. So this is huge. So if you're going to say that XRP is not going to be number one, or XRP is not going to put Bitcoin to shame, I mean, come on, guys. We pretty much identified that Ryan Zagone is working with the Faster Payments Task Force. He's on the high-level advisory board at the IMF. He's on the CBSC group. He basically is dealing with the Office of Controller of Currency. And, I mean, it goes on and on, that's for sure. So, I'm going to basically just keep moving here. So, let me see, guys. Bear with me here. I just want to try to throw this together best as possible. Supports the vision for 2020. I really like that. That's for sure. So we're gonna go down here to payments. Right here, payments. Payments. Treasury recommends that the states work with harmonizing money transmitter requirements for licensing and supervisory examinations, and urges the Bureau to provide more flexibility regarding the issuances of remittances disclosure. Treasury encourages the Federal Reserve to move quickly in facilitating faster retail payment system, such as through the development of real-time settlement services that would allow for more efficient and widespread access to innovative payment capabilities. Ripple, XRP. Such a system should take into account the ability of smaller financial institutions, such as the community banks and credit unions, to access innovative technology and payment services. And they're calling on the Federal Reserve Ripple Labs elected to the Fed Steering Committee for faster payments. This is huge. Huge. Ripple Federal Reserve Task Force, Ripple improves speed and transparency. So, like I said, every group identified in this report, Ryan Zagon or Ripple's actually working with. So, regulating the 21st century. Treasury advocates an agile approach to regulation that we can evolve with innovation. It is critical not to allow fragmentation in the financial regulatory system at both a federal and state level to interfere with innovation. Don't interfere with innovation. This technology is amazing. Financial regulators must consider new approaches to effectively promote innovation, Ripple, XRP, including permitting meaningful experimentation by financial services firms to create innovative products, services, and process. Internationally, many countries have established innovation facilities and various regulatory sandboxes, testing grounds for innovation. These sandboxes have each generally supported common principles such as promoting the adoption and growth of innovation in financial services. So, sandboxes, you say? Okay. Here goes our Ripple regulator right here, Dan Morgan, head of regulatory relations at Ripple, and he says, interesting in development of global sandboxes, regulators working together on wicked problems and tech cross-border payment solutions. Regulating bodies consult the creation of global financial innovation. So pretty much right here is Dan Morgan, works at Ripple. He's basically saying interested in development of global sandbox. So there goes the sandbox Ripple's working with, also as mentioned here in the executive order. Once again, Ripple's all in this, that's for sure. That is for sure. So we're almost winding down here. I just pretty much wanted to highlight this executive order and how much Ripple is just working with the different entities that's in this executive order. So this is like massive. This is huge. It also made me find this right here. Right here, I ran across this right here. I thought it was kind of interesting. It's XRP, a global settlement asset, retirement by 2021. And pretty much plan for retirement, and it says hold. So I ran across this Googling something out of that executive order, my trading plan for the next couple of years, not investment advice, but he pretty much shows a pretty graph here that says by 2021 we should have XRP, a global settlement asset, retirement by 2021. So I was thinking 2020, but 2021 I can work with that also, that's for sure. So we're pretty much almost done here. 67. Let me see. Bear with me, guys. Like I said, I had to read the whole report. Then it kind of like jumps around. Or 67 right here. Okay, this one will work right here. Vision 2020 commitment and passporting. State regulators have launched multi-state effort to develop 50-state licensing and supervisory system known by 2020, known as Vision for 2020. Vision 2020 is largely response to the various state regulating, harmonizing challenges raised by firms regarding the current state-based regulatory regime for non-bank and financial companies. The core components of this effort include establish a fintech industry advisory panel that would be a vehicle to provide state regulators important insight on a Vision 2020 and related efforts to improve state regulation. Now this right here, this executive order says establish a fintech industry advisory panel. Now that brings me back to this right here. It is an honor to be selected for the U.S. State Regulators' new advisory board working to modernize for next gen, CSBC. And this is the same group right here. The group that they want to establish in the executive order, Ryan Zagon is on that group. So that's huge. That's huge right there. So this is just pretty much a lot of these groups I've identified in here what Ryan Zagon is working with. And that'll bring us down to 150. Last clip, actually. Last two clips. Like I said, guys, I apologize. I've been reading this on my lunch break. I noticed that I'm kind of rushing, so I'm messing up a lot. Kind of in a rush. Got to get back to work. Because, yeah, I'm actually getting holiday pay. I'm getting my 8 hours for being there automatically, plus time and a half. So, got to get that money so I can invest in XRP, that's for sure. Fintech and payments technology has advanced in payments market, increased competition, increased innovation. New payment services have been introduced and farther layered upon the existing payment system. Many new firms and technologies are now competing for a greater share of consumer transactions and the corresponding data. This is far few dominant players that have yet emerged, and fintech payment solutions have largely remained confined to niches in the market. So we're looking for page 150 here. 150. And this is where I said basically it's a good chance they're using this ledger already. Basically right here, payments and monetization. Technology continues to evolve and transform the way consumers in the United States and abroad do business. The increase in technology capacity and delivery system has speed up the nature of even routine transactions. Today, one can shop, compare, transact, and receive delivery faster than ever before. XRP, and their underlying technology will continue to advance in order to make this process even quicker and more efficient. However, as non-cash transactions have increased, the back-end payment system underlying these transactions remain largely the same. As innovation allows for faster transactions, consumers are going to demand payment systems like that that likewise function with more speed. So this is huge. So basically right here, recognizing this, the Federal Reserve has set out to lead the discussion on how to best modernize the U.S. payment system. The process started with the Federal Reserve releasing a consultation paper for public comment in 2013. Following the commitment period, the Federal Reserve issued a strategy document that outlined desired incomes for the next step for improving the payment system in order to advance solutions for the 5 desired outcomes: speed, security, efficiency, international payments, and collaboration. The Federal Reserve set up 2 task forces, one for faster payments and one for secure payments. And that brings us back to this right here one more time. Federal Reserve, Ripple improves speed and transparency. And that were actually highlighted by McKinsey & Co. And basically I did a prior video that says that all the proposals put on the table to the Federal Reserve, Ripple is the only enterprise solution. Ripple is the only solution proposed with distributed ledger technology. So, who do you think's going to win this? I believe Ripple for sure from my point of view. So, the clearinghouse for real-time payments and settlements. So this is the one we talked about in the live stream, but I kind of wanted to put this to its own video. In November 2017, the clearinghouse RTP, real-time payment system, one of the private sector's faster payment solutions proposed to the task force, went live as an entirely new payment system through real-time payments is open to the U.S. depository institutions. It currently connects 6 U.S. banks. It currently connects 6 U.S. banks. It currently connects 6 U.S. banks. Now that sounds like distributed ledger technology to me because they're connecting the banks. Real-time payments allows participants to send credit, push payments through the system at the time of the clearance, settlement, and availability posted to receive in real time. So, that right there pretty much sums that up. And the last clip I have right here is who do they want to give a shout out to on page 194. Dun, 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 dun. And who are we thanking? And here it is right here. Ripple. There's Ripple right there. Ripple XRP. Well, Ripple's right there, that's for sure. So, like I said, guys, sorry I kind of like hopped around, messed up, had a few errors. Like I said, I am on my lunch break and I am kind of rushing a little bit. So I hope I pretty much made that pretty much clear what's going on here. Through this executive order, they have highlighted that they are pretty much very excited about this technology for real-time payments. They have identified some groups to work on regulation for the real-time payments, and basically I have identified that every one of these groups that they have mentioned in here, that Ryan Zagone or Dan Morgan, I believe, is working with these institutions. So this is huge. So like I say, here on CKJ Crypto News, I don't really like reading news of the day. I like pretty much doing rabbit hole research that shows behind the scenes the foundation that Ripple XRP is building. Once you understand what's going on behind the scenes, you know that this technology is truly revolutionary. I do believe this is an investment opportunity of our lifetime. I believe that retirement will be possible by 2021, you know, depending on how much you invest in XRP or what's considered retirement to you. So I'm not a financial advisor either, but gotta go, guys. I will see you tonight in a live stream at 9 p.m. Eastern. Right underneath me, the CKJ coin will pop up. Smash that CKJ coin to subscribe. I really appreciate it. We're on a campaign 10K for CKJ. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing. Shout out to King Blue for raising XRP for St. Jude. Shout out to Some Real Guy. Shout out to James Malpass from The Office. Shout out to just everybody's been really supporting the channel. Leave a question or comment in the bottom. If you sub or if you're new to the channel, let me know what city, country, or state you're in. I want to thank you personally. I really appreciate it. It means the world to CKJ. Have a nice day.